Well, Aaron Whitlow.
I'm the other guy. Brandon Spivey.
Welcome to the market.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You got it. You know you got it.
I feel like this is your calling. This is your calling today.
Welcome to the Market Movie Podcast. And on today's episode, we're going to discuss a couple of things. I wanted to first give a quick. Brandon, do you have anything that you watched lately that you want to talk about? Anything stood out?
No, I can't. Can't say. I haven't watched anything in theaters since whatever I saw last. I don't even remember what I saw last. It's been over a week though, so
it's probably that Imaginary.
It was so forgettable. I forgot.
You know. Well, I do want to talk because this episode we was going to talk about Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. I just want to give my brief little thoughts on it without spoiling, because Brandon will probably still see it eventually.
Sometime next week.
Enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun popcorn type of movie. You're there for Kong. I'm there for Kong. I'm a Kong guy. Godzilla was cool, as well. But I'm there for Kong. I've always been a Kong fan, and I like just like the fight. Yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun movie. I also seen the Ghostbusters, a Frozen Empire, a Frozen Empire, whatever.
I'm seeing that Saturday.
You are seeing?
He's got that expression that he didn't have a good time. I know that expression. No, I'm seeing it Saturday. Saturday's what I'm watching. Yeah.
I didn't hate it. It just, I felt like, I don't know. I really enjoyed Afterlife. I know I'm a minority there. Obviously, I guess it was not really.
I don't actually think you're in the minority. I think most people actually enjoyed that movie.
Okay.
I liked it too. I mean, I thought it relied too much on nostalgia, but
yeah,
there's only
in a sense it does a little bit, but I thought but I was happy to have the guys in it.
Yeah,
for more of the movie, and so I was excited about that. It's nothing like the first Ghostbuster movie though. To me, it's just like such a hit. You know what I'm saying? It's like magic. It's like.
You think it was rushed?
Huh?
You think it was rushed? Let's do another one, kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel that way. Yeah, that it was more rushed. But I did like I like the new cast and I like the old cast, but I felt like they didn't really match well. And you know how you felt watching the last Jurassic World movie?
Yeah, I do.
And you felt like they just wasn't really. It just didn't. They didn't gel too well. That's how I kind of feel.
I get what you're saying. Well, here's the thing though. In that film, I didn't think Sam Neill was Alan Grant. Like I think he hadn't played the character in so long, he forgot.
How to play the character.
Yeah, he just didn't. I didn't feel Dr. Grant in that movie. I felt Goldblum though. I think he's just great, but I understand what you're saying though. That sucks because in the last film, because
you might like
they
it
were
though.
barely in it.
Yeah, you might like it though, and I don't ever want to crap on a film because I do hope that people have different experiences. That's what makes us all unique and human. But
I'm not expecting great things. I'm expecting a fun time, but not like, oh man, this is gonna put Ghostbusters making TV shows and new action figures, and like it's gonna be like the 80s. I don't expect that at all. I expect this because it's you said it last week actually when Kong and Godzilla was coming out. You said this movie kind of flopped. And I think it made $45 million the opening weekend, but it only made 15 the second weekend. So yeah, I think it's going to struggle at the box office, and it's probably not going to get a third movie. Which I don't even know if they set it up or nothing. I don't know nothing really about it. So I am sad for the diehard fans that couldn't wait for Ghostbusters to return and get more sequels. I feel for them.
Yeah, I will say this, and you know how, and that's, I hope that you really do enjoy it. Like I went to Godzilla X Kong, uh, not thinking it's gonna be is enjoyable really, because like I'm thinking, but I try to be open minded because it's like I think Godzilla minus one,
Yeah.
what is like the best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. But I haven't seen many of them, but I think that that's the best that I've seen.
Yeah.
Uh, but 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 watching this movie, this one is like it was like an '80s cartoon come to life. That's how I felt, and I enjoyed it. I just enjoyed. I enjoyed, but I love Kong, man. I can't say it enough. I really enjoy King Kong. I've
Oh,
always
is
been
it
Kong.
more his movie
I think it's
than
more his
Godzilla?
movie. I think, yeah,
That's
Godzilla's
good.
more.
That's good because I felt Godzilla's had his. I mean, he's got 2 solo movies, and I kind of thought he had more screen time than Kong did in the last movie. So it's good that Kong's getting some more screen time. I love that. I'm a Kong fan too. So I love Kong. But I'm glad you enjoyed that though, because I didn't think you would either.
Yeah, no, I think on my letterbox I gave it maybe 4 stars or 3.5. It's pretty high. I gave it high praise. I enjoyed it. I really it made me look forward to what they do in the future. With
Yeah,
the
it's obviously going to continue because it's made all kinds of money, which is great for them. It sucks for Ghostbusters, but it's why
yeah.
you shouldn't have 2 big franchises coming out like that against each other. It's not even
No,
summer.
no,
It's
you gonna if you gotta go up against Kong and Godzilla, you're gonna lose. Uh, in my opinion, Godzilla's suplex. Yeah, there was one. I think. Yeah. Uh, and the movie was fun. It's a fun movie, man. I just enjoyed it. But all right. And then what's Bill's name? Baby Kong. Yeah, there's a Baby Kong. Don't spoil it for Brandon. He's gonna watch it, but that's probably in the trailers as well. But I didn't really watch a lot of the trailers, so I can just really enjoy the movie. I love just not watch. I did see some trailers in that movie though. I seen it was just me, and it was for the longest time. It was just me and another guy in the theater. And my biggest criticism in that movie, but maybe it was the aspect ratio of the film. They didn't have subtitles whenever the girl's doing like sign language. There's no subtitles, but maybe it's that screen aspect ratio that cut it off. Because I was like, I don't know what they're saying. That's what. And then there's one thing time where you can see it on the screen. The dude in the back was like, "Yes." It's like, what's happening? Um, but yeah. Oops,
you're
my bad,
good.
Brandon.
You're
You're
good,
not.
Bill.
But I did see some trailers that I thought was interesting. Of course, Civil War was the most interesting to me. I think that was in it. Maybe I don't know. Strangers is in. There's a couple of other things in it. I can't recall now. But anyway, I guess now we'll talk about the movie that we're here to discuss. Uh, Krush Groove from 1985. Um, this movie is rated R. It's an hour and 37 minutes. The story of a man who has started a new hip hop slash rap label called Krush Groove. It stars Blair Underwood as Russell Walker, aka he's Russell Simmons. This is pretty much like a loose biopic of Russell Simmons starting Def Jam, which is funny because this movie they made a biopic essentially about Russell Simmons when hip hop and rap was young. Like he I'm curious to know when Def Jam started. I think Def Jam might have started in '84, '85, and so he made this biopic like a year or so later. It's like when Elvis died, and then Kurt Russell played Elvis like the same year or the year later.
Yeah, a year later, I think.
It's that
Or it may have
fresh.
been the same year. It may actually been the same year. because they may have been actually shooting it while he was still alive. So I want to say that came out in 1977, and if it did, that's the same year he died. He died August 16th, 1977.
Def Jam started 1984. This movie came out 85. So I would venture to say that they made the movie while while Def Jam was still starting. Well, Russell Simmons was still getting talent. He had one of his first big acts they signed, and you seen it in the movie, was LL Cool J. LL Cool J was like a 16, 17-year-old kid that Russell signed, who like bum rushed his way into getting like an audition essentially. Fat Boy, I think, was one of the acts that he signed early on. They had Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They were in the movies. Those are the guys that was wearing the suits, the business suits. That was like an early rap group. But and then you had like obviously Run DMC, but I think Run DMC literally was signed to Elektra or something like that, signed to a different label, but I don't recall. But yeah, and then Curtis Blow, who was like the king of rap, he was like the best rapper in his time. Hip hop started like back in the late 70s, early 80s. Let me see. Let me see if I can. I was gonna see if this image would pop up on here. Let's see. Does it? It's terrible. All right. Yeah. Let me do it real quick. That's fine. So.
Oh man. Krush Groove.
Krush Groove. Brandon, you went into this movie not knowing anything.
Not knowing anything. Like I told you this last night when you mentioned LL Cool J. Like I'm watching it, I am paying attention, but I'm not really paying attention to who this guy is. But I start really understanding his voice though. It's hitting me, and I was like, I know that voice. I really know that voice, and I love LL Cool J. Like Mama's Gonna Knock You Out. That's about the only song I know that he sung, but it stuck with me. Because I think my cousin used to listen to that like all the time in the car. And I have very limited experience with rap in this era. Like my cousin would listen to it and he would force it on me when I was with him. So I remember that song. But then I was like, Aaron said it. You said it. You said it was going to be a young LL Cool J. And I was like, man, it don't even look like him to a certain extent. And I was like, wow, he was young once.
And, the LL that I remember growing up was like my first. I think I seen his Bad video before I seen this movie. So growing up, I remember watching. Let's see. This is. Yeah, I just got someone asked me to go and let them into the building at work, and I'm doing the podcast. Let me see.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, real quick, tell them kind of your early thoughts.
Me?
I'm not losing you, but I'm gonna give me a moment. Let me. Oh, this is how it goes sometimes.
Oh wow.
Layout. There we go. I wasn't trying to have me be the only one.
I don't even know. Okay, I'm there. Okay, I didn't know if I was still online or what. It's like
you good.
Now it's just me. It's just me. Okay, so basically, as you said, Russell Simmons, he's got this little small. He's got like labels to like Run DMC, and that's about it. And he's trying to get a loan, and the bank won't give him a loan. And he runs. I can't remember his name. Aaron would know, but he runs into this guy like at a bar. Or I don't know. Is it a bar?
It was like a club.
Club, yeah. I never been. I'm white.
Let's go, Brandon. Oops, my bad. Okay.
Yeah. F you, Brandon. I understand it completely. He wants me.
Well, and I don't have to go and do that until about 7, so we're good.
Okay. So the guy that played Jason in Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, the guy, the doctor, the guy that the doctor guy.
He's the guy that actually gives him the loan, and I remember, I don't remember their names, but I know there's like they tried to tell him to stay away from that guy because he's bad business.
Yeah,
but at the same time, he couldn't get a loan. He was the only answer, to upstarting this thing that he wanted to upstart, with all these rappers and stuff and creating his label. And sometimes I feel like you gotta go to some people that you can't really trust in that that type of field. So that's kind of what happened. And of course, he paid price for it. Man,
yeah, one thing that I noticed too, man, a couple of things. One, also, you kind of mentioned it. So they recorded a song with his brother, Run from Run DMC. Well, Run DMC. They recorded a record with them, and it was a hit. And he sold a lot of records, but he didn't have a lot of records pressed, so he had to go try to get money. So he first goes to his father to try to get the money. His father is a past preacher, which is true. Russell Simmons and Ron Simmons. Their father is a preacher, and that was their real life dad playing their father in the movie. But so they went to him to get money, and he was like, "No, I think God is trying to test you," And so they tried to go to him and Rick Rubin. So the other guy that created Def Jam along with Russell Simmons, the white guy that you've seen in there, was Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin is a legendary producer. Create like he also is the one that signed one of the biggest groups in history, the Beastie Boys. Are you familiar with the Beastie Boys at all?
The name. That's about it.
Yeah, Beastie Boys is one of the biggest hip hop groups in the history of hip hop, and they should rightfully so be considered pioneers in the genre of hip hop. And but Rick Rubin, he also later on he produced Jay-Z's song 99 Problems. Have you ever heard that song?
No, I'm not. I've never really listened to a lot of music, and it's not just rap or hip hop. I mean, there's a lot of music I haven't listened to. I'm white. I understand. You probably think he listens to country. There's a lot of country I haven't listened to. Like there's a lot of stars I just do not know. I know the names, but I don't know their music.
Okay.
Travis Tritt's one. I know his name. I can't tell you one song he sung though.
Yeah, I know his name. I don't know anything about him, but then again, my country is limited.
Tupac, know him. Can't tell you a song he sung.
I can tell you his songs.
I know you can, but I can't.
But I bet you can name an Eminem song.
You put me on the spot. Slim. Oh man.
Which one? Yeah, my name is
Shady.
Yeah.
Real Slim Shady.
There's also Lose Yourself.
Yeah, Lose Yourself was easy because that's what I used to listen to before every audition. That was my song to listen to get me hyped up for it. But I know a few Eminem songs.
But I did want to say, so he did end up going to this loan shark essentially.
Yeah.
To get money, to get the money to press the records. Also, at some point in this very beginning, we get a couple of things established as well. Some little subplot. One is with the Fat Boy, who wants to make it in the music business.
Oh yeah. Also, I know you're talking about.
I wanted to, real quick. Also realized when they went to the bank that the bank loan officer didn't know. They said a rap label, and then he said, "What's rap?" Yeah. That's how young rap was. Like people didn't know what rap was. that what is rap? What is this? What's rap? And then, of course, if they probably would have said a rock business or rock company, record label, it might have been able to get maybe funding, but nobody was really supporting rap at the time. They thought it was a fad that was going to die out, but rap continued today. Uh, some say for the worst. I say for the worst in some cases. Some are pretty trash. Uh, but um, but yeah, but Fat Boys. Getting back to the Fat Boys. Growing up, that was one of my first rap groups that I listened to. Well, my sister owned a CD, not a CD, but a record of the Fat Boys, and it's the Crushing record called Crushing. And I was like, I like this group because they were different. Like just like they in the movie, they rap about food, they rap about fun stuff,
Yeah.
and that's what made them enjoyable. And to me, I count them as well as pioneers in the rap game as well. So
Yeah, they were probably no, it's not probably. They were my favorite part of the movie. I just thought they brought so much energy to well, not only their characters, just the whole movie. When they were on screen, the energy volume just went up. I really liked them. I could have watched the entire movie about them. It would have been really great. I felt. So they were fun. I love when they're trying to get into the club, as you pointed out. That's what it was. I don't know why I couldn't remember.
yeah, the club was called Disco Fever.
That's a weird club in the 80s.
Well, because disco, if you think about it, in the 70s, disco was big.
It was huge.
Even if you like in the early 80s, like with Disco Fever, like Saturday Night Live, or Saturday Night, whatever the John Travolta movie.
Saturday Night Fever,
yeah. It's disco. It's all about disco. And
I
so
hate those movies. I hate those movies. I hate disco.
Yeah. But the club was still called Disco Fever, and then their band name was called, they literally was called the Disco Three before they became the Fat Boys. If you listen to some of the earlier raps, music, you can hear them call themselves the Disco Three, because that's just who they were at the time before they kind of was established as the Fat Boys. But uh, I'm gonna make sure my volume is turned down just in case it doesn't interfere with my sound. But yeah, yeah, man. But I agree with you. They are my favorite part of the movie. So much so, I bet you they were other people's favorite part because in '87, a couple of years later, they had another movie, their standalone movie called Disorderly.
Was it good?
Where they were, it was a fun little cult classic where they were hired to be like the orderly for an elderly rich man, and they kind of, you know, they kind of like have a fun adventure with this old man and become friends with him, and the man is kind of doesn't like them, and it's just like a fun little hijinks type of movie.
Now I have what I'm about. I don't know if this is going to be accurate for you or this is just what I thought while watching this movie. I felt that this movie kind of paved the way for movies like House Party and Friday. More so House Party. It just felt that vibe. I don't know. You agree? Okay. I didn't know if you would or not.
Yeah. And matter of fact, see, back in the day, this is the first hip hop was small, was very young. But even with that being said, hip hop has had at this point other movies, but never movies dealing specifically with the element of hip hop that is called rap.
Yeah.
They have hip hop has four elements. There's MCing, which is rapping. There's DJing, which is spinning the records and doing things like that. There's breakdancing, breaking, which is like pop locking and spinning on your head, things like that. And then the fourth element of hip hop is graffiti art, which is tagging and stuff like that. You still see them on stage and stuff. The graffiti, that's another element of hip hop. So there's four elements of hip hop, and so you had movies dealing with the other three elements, like the movie Wild Style is in the early '80s. Then you have what is the other one? Yeah, Breaking and Breaking Two. One Breaking has John Claude Van Damme in it dancing.
Yeah, I've seen the clip, never seen the movie.
Yeah, and then you have Beat Street, which is another famous one at that time. But the first one to really deal specifically with rap was this movie, and that's why it felt like people said, "Okay, let's do this. Let's come together." To me, rap at this time, well, specifically with Def Jam, it reminds me of Motown back in say the what 50s, 60s, or whatever. That time frame, maybe the 60s, whenever they were starting. Because Barry Gordy, who we watched the Temptation movie, Barry Gordy started signing groups and people getting signed and people learning and getting creative together, and a lot of stars came out of the Motown type of thing. And same with early stages of Def Jam, it produced so many big hits, so many big people. Later on, Jay-Z is a Motown is a Def Jam artist. You know, I think there's a member of Wu-Tang that might have been signed to Def Jam as well. And then I think DMX, you know, some other people. So Def Jam is still around. I think it's still around today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Russell obviously isn't. I don't know if he's still doing anything. He's in legal trouble. Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know if he still is, but he's in legal trouble with like inappropriate. Russell Simmons.
Oh, okay. Say, I've never heard of him before, so that's why I said I acknowledged him, but I don't know who he is until I watched this movie. I had no idea.
Yeah, and that's what, and I did try to show you like this scene here. Hush up, Cole. My dog's barking. But there's Russell Simmons right there, along with Blair Underwood, who's playing Russell Walker, aka Russell Simmons. Blair, I don't know. I wouldn't think Blair Underwood was really good casting. I do like Blair Underwood, but I don't feel like he's really great casting to play Russell Simmons, because Russell was more street. You know, he was more like boots to the ground, kind of. You know how his brother Run was, like, you know. So like, what up, man? What up, girl? You know what I'm talking about? Russ Simmons from Run DMC.
I know the language. Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You know who his brother was, right?
Yes. Ron.
Okay.
You mentioned it before.
Ron. Okay. Ron. Yeah. But yeah, and they actually became bigger stars, the biggest stars at the time.
Now, who is the girl?
Sheila E.
I know that. Was that really her?
Yeah, that's really,
okay.
Sheila E. Sheila E. is she is she's the protege of Prince. Like the very first song that she sang in the movie was a Prince song. You know, dun, 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 you know, and then you hear the background, the vocals and stuff. That's Prince singing. But he obviously Prince ain't in this movie because Prince just finished Purple Rain, but Prince was a megastar.
Yeah.
Prince was Prince. Prince is always Prince. You know what I'm saying? Are you familiar with Prince?
I know who he is.
Boy, you gotta get coaches, man. Have you ever had collard greens, Brandon?
If I ever what?
Collard greens.
No.
Brandon, we gotta get you coaches. We gotta turn you.
I like her though. I like this. I don't know, the singer. I thought she was good in the movie. She had a beautiful voice.
Yeah. Sheila was is Prince's protege. So she was the person that Prince found and put her on essentially, and made her famous.
She kind of reminded me of Aaliyah a little bit. Her look, you know. And I don't know her music either. I just know her from Romeo Must Die and that Vampire Queen of the Damned or whatever it was called.
You don't know her music. Aaliyah was.
She did sing a song in that movie though, Romeo Must Die. So
her and then her DMX has a song as well.
Yeah, he does.
But Sheila, she's also, which is funny because how Richie Valens paved the way for Hispanic like type of music and rock and stuff. Sheila E. carried that over. And she's also Hispanic, and so she kind of kept that going. And then like she's a world renowned drummer. Like it's what she with the drumsticks and stuff because she's gifted. But yeah, then we also have Curtis Blow in this movie. I know you're not familiar with Curtis Blow. Do you remember
with anybody except for Run DMC? I have heard of them before, but
do you remember Curtis in the movie? If I ruled the world with the king at home,
I think so. Did he have the weird? No, it's not weird, but did he have the funny looking hair with a mustache?
It's got a Jerry curl, yes.
Okay, that's him. Okay, I thought it was. Now, wasn't he like in other movies too? I can't.
Not really. Not really.
Other movies? He looks familiar. That's.
No, not really.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a legend. However, when it comes to like hip hop, but yeah, but mainly the thing that I really enjoyed about this movie is I like that it's just like for me it's like the music is great. It's more of a musical in the sense of it's a musical, but it's not like a obvious musical where like everybody breaks out in song and dance and stuff. There was that one time where the Fat Boys, was performing at the school.
I like that. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and then I love that song. Don't you dog me? I can't do it.
Oh, come on!
I tried to
show the world your talents, Aaron. Show them.
I can't do that.
It's great.
It's not. But yeah, I was a fan.
We got a new viewer because.
Go ahead.
I can't do it. Come on.
That's what the people came here to see you beatbox.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure that's why they're leaving right now.
Yeah, I can't do it. But yeah, I did enjoy that. I love that idea of them first not wanting to do it like not Prince Marky D. So the Fat Boys is the human beatbox, Biff, I think Biff or I'm trying to think of his name. Darren Robinson was known as, I think he's Biff. Buff.
He's Buff.
He's the one with the beatbox.
All the stuff.
Sorry. Yeah. So, Buff. And then you had
I gotta turn it into something I know.
And then you had the light skinned one, he was Prince Marky D. And then you had Kurok Ski. Yeah, they were the Fat Boys. Now, unfortunately, all of them are dead except for Kurok Ski, who was the one that didn't really want to do it, but later on said, "Okay, I'll do it."
Yeah.
He died. He's still living, but he's living because he lost a lot of weight. He actually started working out. He got into fitness, and he's no longer a fat boy.
That's great.
But everybody else is dead in the group, unfortunately. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed that aspect. What did you think about seeing Chris Rock?
Well, see, here's the thing. I missed him in the movie, but I saw him in the clip you showed, with the picture you showed.
There he is right there in the blue shirt.
I You're gonna hate me for saying it, but I can understand why Will Smith slapped him.
That's acceptable.
He just looks like somebody you could just slap, and he'll just take it. I'm joking. No. I mean, he's a young guy there. The afro. I mean, it just looks weird on him, you know.
That isn't an afro, my friend. That is also a Jerry curl.
Oh, is it? It looked more like an afro to me, but you know, it don't look good on him though. That's my point.
Well, he's a young guy, and it's his first time in a movie. But yeah. So to get back to the movie, we had Russell. Russell eventually he got the money from the guy, but also his brother ended up going to another label.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other talent ended up going to another label as well. Uh, and so they had a talent show to find new talent. Um, Also, you got to see the bad guys from they're called shoot, I'm trying to think of their name. They're a group, um, but you know them from House Party.
Yep.
It's House Party. What was your thoughts of seeing them in that?
I was like, man, I think they didn't appear in much, but every time you see them on screen in anything they've ever done, you can't help yourself but smile. I mean, maybe that is because of House Party for most people. I don't know, but it was just I smiled when I seen them, even though they were beating the crap out of Blair Underwood, and I was having a good time with that beatdown. I felt bad for him. And I was like, man, it's the bullies from House Party. I loved it. I loved seeing them. Did feel bad for Blair, but we can't all win. I mean,
yeah, Blair Underwood did get beat down.
Oh, yeah, beat bad.
Yeah, I was trying to find. Let's see. Yeah, House Party came out in 90, I think.
Was it 90?
Yeah. But yeah, they are. Yeah, I'm glad. But it was really good seeing them. I forgot kind of that they were in the movie until like I was like, oh yeah, they are in this movie, and they are the henchmen, the enforcers that beat them up to say you better have the money by the night, by midnight tonight or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I was okay with Russell getting beat up. Russell was an idiot at some point. Um, I am glad that. I was gonna say. Well, I was gonna ask you about something that happened in the movie. The talent show. I know you don't know none of these people, but New Edition was in the talent show, including Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown was there. You know Bobby Brown probably from Ghostbusters 2. He sung the song "They're on Their Own" or something like that. The Ghostbusters big theme song for.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking of someone else.
He was also married to Whitney Houston at one point in the life.
Okay, I am thinking of the same guy then.
Yeah.
He beat up Whitney. So.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I know him more. Sadly, that's what I do know more about him is that he's
in that group. He's in New Edition. They were in there. We've seen the Beastie Boys in that one set, and some other people. But at the very end of the movie, you had this. I felt like the movie just kind of sort of ended. Like the guy got his money. He was like, and Russell got some new talent, I guess, with the Fat Boys, and LL Cool J, and they did that. They did they did the Krush Groove song when they're going around and rapping it at the very end. Ends on a happy note.
Yeah, I kind of felt like, I mean, I don't know anything about this, but I kind of felt while watching it that this maybe was supposed to start like a little franchise with however further he got along in the business. It's kind of how I was taking it while watching it, because this is really the origin story, the beginning of his career at this point. It's not like a true biopic where you started at the beginning, but there's a middle, and there's obviously an end. There wasn't those in this, just how it really started. So I kind of thought maybe it was going to be more. Like he planned to do sequels down the line, but
I mean, if you think about it, if Def Jam was founded, in this movie, it's called Krush Groove now, Def Jam, but Def Jam was founded in '84. This movie came out in '85. It was still in its infancy.
Yeah.
And so, and later on, he went on to do other things like Def Jam, Def Comedy Jam, which was a famous stand-up comedy show that was on HBO. That's where we got Bernie Mac. That's where we got Martin Lawrence. That's where we got later on Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Jamie Foxx. A lot of people went on to be on the Def Comedy Jam, which is a Russell Simmons created stand-up comedy show. And then also you have later on Def Jam Fight for New York. The video game.
Yeah, I play that. I actually have it.
Yep, those are the same thing from Def Jam. So so he went on to have other success in other avenues. I thought that I want to mention my favorite song in the movie. It's All You Can Eat. $3.99 for all you can eat. I'ma stuff my face to this funky beat. They went into Barrows and ate everything, even the pictures off the wall. The Fat Boys. What was your thoughts on that part?
I mean, it was just hearing you explain. It's hilarious. No, it was fun. Like I said, anytime they showed up on screen, it was a ride. It was a lot of energy. But yeah, I remember that, and I was like, it was just great. I mean, they basically just did whatever they wanted. They had such a great time doing it, though. I mean, it made you want to join them, and be a part of something. And so, yeah, I mean, I love that scene, but I love the school scene with the teacher. It's like, who's making that noise? Who's got a radio? And waiting in line. And I remember even it's like one of my favorite parts. The guys wanting $10 to get in. $10. We ain't got $10. You got $10. I just like I said, every time they were on screen, it was a hoot, man. It was a lot of fun. They brought a lot of energy, and I wanted to see them more. So yeah,
man. Too bad that the other movie isn't streaming, or I would definitely show it to you. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
The
rat tail. Yeah, we didn't even mention that. I loved it because I used to have one of those.
Yeah, his signature Davy Crockett hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were fun. They were the most fun in this movie. They were comic relief, and I felt like they did their job. Like they were, because I'll be honest. I love this movie, but I'll be honest, and I would say that the time when they weren't on screen, there's a lull in the movie, but the time that they are on screen, I just wanted more of them.
Yeah, I get that. I felt the same way, and I don't blame anybody in the movie for it. Like you said, Blair was kind of miscast here. I think that's how you felt. I didn't feel he was miscast. I mean, I thought for what they wanted him to do, I think they wanted him to be likable. So I think he did a good job. I just felt like we didn't really, more about these people than I ever will. But I felt like it wasn't enough material to truly be a biopic. So they kind of just, you said they made it loosely based off his life and how it started. And so, I liked the movie. I thought it was fun, but I don't understand if someone didn't like it. I really wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
like a negative review on it. I honestly I wouldn't. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say this. I want to say this real quick before we go through our numbers on it. Blair is one heck of an actor. I absolutely think that he's a phenomenal actor. Uh, if you have never seen him in the movie Just Cause, uh,
I haven't seen it.
oh, it's an excellent movie. It's him, Sean Connery, and Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah,
It's an excellent movie. Uh, he's such a good actor as far as like he's very complex. He's one of those actors that don't get mentioned as much. We have Denzel. We have
yeah.
God rest his soul, Louis Gossett Jr. just passed away. Uh, but we had those type of actors. Samuel Jackson. You hear of him, but nobody really talks about Blair Underwood at all.
No, it's been a few years, but I watched the show that he was in. The Event. I think it was a CBS show. It was CBS, NBC, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It had John Ritter's son in it too, but he played the president, and I thought he was just the best part of the show. It started off great, and it kind of fizzled out, but as far as him, he was great. Like, that's what I really truly remember him. Like, I haven't seen a lot of his stuff, but he is. I agree with you. He is a really gifted actor, and he just doesn't get the roles he should get. I don't understand either. Like, because he's really good. He's really good. He kind of reminds me, in a sense, of Lenny James, who's really good but doesn't get mainstream roles. He has to stick with TV, and it's a shame because he's really talented. But he knocks out of the park whatever he does get, though. So,
I just noticed this. I looked up his resume, his filmography rather.
yeah.
He's in a new movie coming out this year with Nicolas Cage called Longlegs.
Oh, that's a horror film. Nick Cage plays a serial killer.
Yeah, he's gonna be in that movie.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, I'm actually excited.
We wouldn't have said this 5 years ago, though. Being a movie with Nick Cage wasn't good back then.
Yeah, well, God bless Nick Cage for just persevering and still sticking with it and still taking. He says yes to the right project.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah, but back to this movie. I'm ready to give my numbers, my mark.
All right.
I give this movie. I'm going to give it 3.5 marks out of 5. I had fun. I thought it was a fun, entertaining movie. I think that it could. There's some things that it might have lacked in, like acting and things like that, because people are rappers in it.
Yeah.
Not really. Even though it's funny, the funny thing is, LL Cool J will one day become a better. I would argue to say he's a much better actor. Well, he's a great rapper, but I think that he is an even better actor today. And this is probably his first acting gig.
Yeah.
That he is an actor.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, I haven't listened to a lot of his music, but I would say from someone that was coming from that background with music and went to acting, I would say LL Cool J, except for maybe Ice Cube, is right up there. I think Ice Cube's probably the number one guy that's come from the music background, but
I'll say Will's the number one.
Yeah, I mean,
I know you don't think.
I don't think of Will as a music artist, though. I don't. So I always forget that he did that for. I guess it was a short amount of time. I don't remember him before Fresh Prince. I just don't.
And I say Tupac, if he lived, he would have been a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
Later on, he was a really good actor, but had he lived, I would have loved to see what he would have went on to do.
Yeah.
And maybe he would have even left rap and just concentrated on film and television, and had his career.
I mean, he was really good in Above the Rim. That's the only movie I've ever seen him in. I didn't get to see him in Gang Related.
I got to pick Juice for
I
us to
haven't seen
watch.
that either.
Yeah, it's him and Omar Epps. But yeah, what's your numbers?
I'm gonna go same. I'm gonna go 3.5. I thought it was fun. I thought it was energetic. It told a story of
Streaming, by the way. Streaming
on Tubi. Yes, it is streaming.
it's on
What's streaming? You
Juice.
mean Juice? Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about this movie. It's like, yeah, it's streaming. Because if it wasn't streaming, we wouldn't have watched. I wouldn't have been able to.
Continue, Brandon.
But yeah, I thought it was energetic. I thought it was fun. I thought it was an interesting story to tell how he got started in the hip hop, and how it started essentially as well. So yeah, 3.5. I think it was a fun movie.
Juice Tupac is still alive. Juice. Well, I don't know. Next week, Brandon, you said we probably won't be able to shoot. Is that right? Is that next week?
I don't know. They're very close. Oh yeah, and I got my shots. I'll have to let you know how I feel.
That's fine. Real quick, before we end, I want to talk about. I was going to do the whole intro, but we're not going to do the intro. WrestleMania predictions. Real quick, let me go to Wrestle 40 card.
It's 13 matches.
Yep. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right, so on night one, I'm gonna start from the first match, just to get your thoughts, and we'll go from here.
Okay.
All right. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio.
Prediction. My thoughts on this match is it's a wasted match. This should have been a singles match between Escobar and Rey Mysterio. I don't know why Dom has been forced into this. To me, it makes no sense. But I see this really finally the Rockets come back to yes, thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, Final Boss. I acknowledge you. But no, I see this match being a screw job. I see Carlito turning heel and joining Escobar and Dom. Because it's sad to me because the fans were chanting Carlito right before Rey Mysterio announced who his partner was, and they bring out Dragon Lee, who nobody cares about. He's a good luchador, but no one cares.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who Dragon Lee is, but yeah, I want Dominic to go over. Anything that's gonna give Dominic heat, I want Dominic to win. I love Dominic's one of my favorite heels currently. Just like in the business.
Yeah,
he's so over. He's so hated. I love it. Next one. Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control. I'm gonna give you my thoughts real quick.
Yeah.
I think that somewhere in here we're gonna end up having a standoff between or start a Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill. Or maybe they come later. I can see them for next year WrestleMania or something. So maybe that's gonna plant some seeds to that. Maybe Jade is gonna or Bianca is gonna do something and cost them the match. I don't know. Maybe Damage Control will win, but I'm not a big fan of Damage Control. I do like Asuka, but I don't really
love Asuka. I just feel she's been wasted.
Yeah, I agree.
But I actually see the faces winning this. I don't see them bringing in Jade whatever her last name is from AEW. This is going to be her first big match besides the Royal Rumble. So I don't see them losing.
Never did it.
Yeah, it would hurt her. I don't see it, but you never know. I mean, you never know.
You're right. Next match, New Catch New Cats Republic, which is Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate versus A-Town Down Under, A-Town Down Under,
I
which
love
is
those.
Austin Theory. I like Austin Theory.
I think he's
a talented wrestler. I want A-Town Down Under to win. That's a terrible name, but
I see happening with those two guys, I see Grayson turning face and feuding with Theory. I don't think it's gonna happen at WrestleMania, but I think by SummerSlam it will happen. I see both of those guys' stocks rising. But Grayson, I feel like he could be. He's got that Rock energy when he talks, and he's a very good wrestler too. So, at Austin Theory, I think he's grown on me as a character. Like I really am starting to like him, but I don't see them winning. But I think it's a good spot for them though, just to be on the card. I mean, but yeah, so you're predicting to win.
Yeah, Matthew Carter, by the way, wanted us to review Iron Eagle, because in honor of Louis Gossett Jr. But
in due time. But for this match, I got Awesome Truth winning.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I like them to go. Oh no, that's the next match. Or is that all in the same match?
It's a ladder match for the tag.
Oh wow, I see it now. Yeah, Judgment Day with Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Awesome Truth, DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. New Day, which is Kofi and Xavier Woods. Yeah, okay.
I only say that because of the story.
With that being said, I say Awesome Truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're over. Our Truth is over. Our Truth is over right now. He's a baby that is that's actually like doing like he's over. He's over. He
is.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. And I see him doing it in a hilarious way where he's thinking he's trying to win the title to give to Damian, whatever, to give to Damian, like to give it to him. But he get it and secure it for their team to win. Yeah. It'd be hilarious. All right, next match: Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso.
That's gonna be a good one. You don't care?
I don't care. I give it to Jey though, but I don't care.
I think this is gonna be one of the better matches on the whole card, and I'm gonna give it to Jimmy.
You give it to Jimmy?
I think Bloodline's gonna have a good night on night one.
Okay. I can see that. Bloodline's going to finish strong. With that being said, next match, in the IC title, Gunther and Sami Zayn. I want Gunther to win, but I can see him doing the job for Sami, and then later going after the one of the titles, the heavyweight titles, later.
I love Sami. With that being said, I do. I love him. I think he's great, and he had a great run last year at WrestleMania, but he's just not the same character he was last year. He's not over like he was.
His Bloodline storyline was great. It's a perfect storyline.
Yeah, I think they dropped the ball with him a little bit after that, and Gunther is he's on another level, and I just don't see, if he does lose, I don't see him losing clean. Like Chad Gable would have to interfere or something, but I'm going to go Gunther on this one. I don't see Sami winning.
Okay. All right. And then next one, Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. I don't know. I can see Rhea. I see Rhea dropping it to Becky because they got to have a title change first night. I feel like, and I can see that title being with Becky Lynch winning.
Oh, they will have a title change because Awesome Truth's going to win the tag titles.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, it makes sense that Becky would get back on top, but Rhea's on fire.
I like Rhea.
Yeah, Rhea's on fire as a character right now. I think it would be a mistake for her to drop the title, being this hot. I really do. But I could see Becky But I'm going to go Rhea, though.
Okay. All right.
I think it's 50-50 either way.
And the last match of the night that is absolutely all right. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. It's like a tag team match. I had no idea this was happening. I can see Rock and Roman winning.
Yeah.
Because I can see Roman losing night 2. I see Rock and Roman this night.
I see Rock beating Cody Rhodes night 1. I think that's who's gonna. I don't think Seth's gonna take the loss because he's got a world title defense. If he takes a loss, that looks bad. He's a world champion. So I don't think he's gonna take a loss. And Cody loses, that just makes people think, oh my God, they're gonna do it to him again. They're gonna screw him again. But I really think Rock's gonna win. And it's gonna be bloodline rules for the Universal Undisputed Championship the next night, which anything goes. But we'll get to that in a minute, what we think there. But yeah, I think Bloodline wins. Bloodline is, for my opinion, clean sweep night 1. They're riding high going into night 2.
Okay. All right. Night 2. We have Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, which is Montez Ford, and Angelo Dawkins versus Final Testament, which is Corey and Cross, and Authors of Pain, which is an LOD ripoff. I'm going to give it to Bobby Lashley and Street Profits. I think they're better. They look better. I think the other ones, I'm going to be honest, Final Testament, they're throwaway. They're throwaway to me. They're a throwaway group. Not worth the time on the card. To be honest.
I feel this match is only happening because they screwed Bobby last year. They're just giving him a spot. I feel this is going to be a squash match. I do. If it's not, it's a shame because Bobby deserves his WrestleMania moment. He hasn't had one in a really long time, like since he beat Drew, I think. But yeah, they're wasting him too. But I see them winning.
Yeah, this next match is my prediction as the match of the night. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I think it's going to be the match of the night. I think they're going to tear it down. And I think it'll be the smartest thing to have AJ do the job to LA and to not kill LA's momentum. I think AJ needs to do the job and LA is put over. So
I agree with you. I think LA goes over. Hopefully, I mean, you just don't know, but if he loses, it's going to hurt him. It's not going to hurt AJ at all. AJ's established.
It was AJ to do the job. AJ Styles is AJ Styles. It would not hurt him. But it would be more hurtful to LA Knight if he did the job.
I really look forward to that match.
Yeah.
I really do.
All right, next match, United States Championship, triple threat. Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. KO. My thought, I can see Orton winning because Orton has been coming back.
Yeah,
I see Orton winning, so I see it being a great match.
I would have said Orton winning if it had been 1-on-1. I think Logan Paul retains I think he's going to beat Kevin Owens.
But he's not going to pin Orton. He's going to win by pinning Owens.
Kevin Owens is taking the pinfall. That's why he's there.
Yeah. And it's going to set up, I guess maybe later on to have Orton versus Paul and maybe SummerSlam. Some little later on.
Yeah, I expect the storyline to continue between them two. I think Orton's eventually going to get the title, but I don't think it'll be at WrestleMania.
Is the next big pay-per-view Backlash? Is that the next one? Or
I think it's the next one. I think it's in France, if it is. They're going overseas a lot more now, so.
This is going to be the sleeper match of the night. WWE Women's Championship, Io Sky and Bayley. I'm not big on Bayley. I'm not big on Io Sky either, so I just really don't care. But if I got to choose somebody, I can see Bailey winning. Maybe I don't know. I just feel like they're too throwaway people, in my opinion.
Okay, I'm gonna give them some love because their story is the best women's story going on right now, especially with Bailey. But I think Bailey's going to win. I think this is going to be kind of a Rhea Ripley, Charlotte type moment if they give them time. It's all about if they give them time. I think both of them are very talented, but I think the fans are going to be really behind Bailey. She's one of the 4 horsewomen, so I mean, she's finally going to get her moment at WrestleMania. So I think it's going to be a great match, but I got Bailey going over if they give them time.
Right. World Heavyweight Championship: Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
I'm curious to know what you're going to pick here. I'm very curious.
I'm going to say Seth. Oh man, I do like Drew McIntyre.
Don't forget, CM Punk's going to be at commentary.
Okay. With that being said, Punk screws Seth. Drew goes over.
Is that what you're picking?
Yes. Is Punk about to be healthy to come back?
I don't think so. But I don't know. He's doing commentary. Normally, if he's really injured and he's not coming back anytime soon, he wouldn't really be doing that. He's still got a cast on his arm. So, but it could be for...
Is he going to do a Bob Orton? Is he going to pull a Bob Orton?
He might. He might.
Okay. Yeah, I say Drew goes over. Seth loses.
I agree with you that Drew goes over, but I don't think Punk has anything to do with it. I think after the match, he's going to get in Punk's face, and Punk's going to do something. And that's when Damian Priest is going to cash in. That's my prediction. That Drew's finally going to get his moment. He's going to win it in front of a crowd, and he's going to lose it. Just like that. That's my prediction. Because Damian's got to cash in soon.
I forgot about Damian having to cash in.
Yeah, he's got to cash in soon.
And he's got to win it. Even though I don't know how he'll do as a champion. I'm be honest. But I like that. So, but we both agree that Drew goes over.
Yeah, I think Drew's going over. He's going to finally get his moment.
Steph needs surgery, right? Steph is injured. Steph needs that time off, don't
he? He's supposed to take time off after WrestleMania, so.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, undisputed WWE Universal Championship: Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Cody's story is going to conclude tonight with him winning the title, and I think it's going to be The Rock doing a run-in, Roman getting with being mad, try to order him to do something, and Rock turns on Roman. Cody wins, sets up Roman Rock later on.
I normally would have agreed with you until The Rock did what he did to Cody.
Oh, he beat him
bad. Here's what I think. I agree with you. I think Cody is going to win. I do. But I think
Cody's going to win, and then Rock's going to try to avenge Roman.
Wait a second. They showed a shot while Rock was putting down a beatdown of John Cena and Stone Cold. I think you're going to hear that glass break when the bloodline is beating the living tire out of Cody Rhodes. You're going to get one more moment with Rock and Austin.
Oh, my God.
I really believe this is what's going to happen, and I think Cena's going to help. I think it's going to be Rock, Roman, and Jimmy and Solo going to put a beat down on Cody, and you're going to hear that glass break. And Rock's going to it's going to be amazing. Well, the problem with that though, it takes all the attention off of Cody and his story. It's about Rock and Austin in that moment, but I believe it's coming. I believe they're going to help Cody win.
This is where I love that. If we do get to shoot next week, instead of doing a movie, we should do a just recap of WrestleMania. If we do get to shoot, something simple. But yeah, it sounds like it's gonna. I would say that I'm the most excited for this WrestleMania. That I have been excited for WrestleMania in a long time. The Rock The Rock single-handedly does something to bring electricity into like a pay-per-view.
He's got more people talking about wrestling than they've talked about wrestling in 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
They hate him. It's great.
Oh, and heel Rock is something else. Like no one can play heel better as Rock. I'm gonna be honest. Like he's so cocky and just like he just does like he's gonna say what he wants to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This character though, I think tops it. As this is the evolution of The Rock.
It's heel Rock,
yeah. I mean, he's
more brutal. He's
like Rock,
he's like Rock and Lesnar kind of.
Yeah, together. And there's rumors that Brock is going to return at WrestleMania 2. I don't know what happened with they were like blacklisting him, but there's rumors that he's coming back. The shot they show of Cena and Austin, that just confirmed to me that Austin's Rock going at the moment.
In the background or what?
He was on the trucks, but the camera just panned to it for 2 to 3 seconds while Rock was talking. But they were focusing on Austin and Cena in the background. And I was like, you just confirmed what you're going to do here. If you're paying attention at all, you confirm to the audience what's coming.
And then Monday is Raw, and Raw is always the Raw after WrestleMania is always where the more surprises happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it ultimately is setting up Rock and Cody before we get to Rock and Roman.
Yeah, Rock and Cody. I want to see Rock do a legit one-on-one match again with. Yeah, that'd be great. But Brandon, what do we say to people if they watching the podcast?
If you watch this podcast and you enjoyed, click that like button, click that subscribe, and comment and share the Mark Out Movie Podcast. And join us next week if we're here.
Yeah. In the meantime, and in between time, Randy Whitlow,
Brandon Spivey.
We are the Mark Out Movie Podcast. We thank you for listening to the podcast. Have a great weekend. If you watch WrestleMania, please comment your predictions for WrestleMania. Thank you, Matthew Carter and Billford the Hobbit, for all commenting. Shout out to you all, and have a safe weekend.